go.
So, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another episode of the Dumb Jocks podcast. M&M are back. I am back. Another week of football in the books. Saw some of the craziest shit I have ever seen in football. I saw a team put up 70 fucking points in a football game. I thought I was reading a typo. Tyreek Hill said that he felt like he was playing Madden. It was fucking crazy.
That's what it looked like.
I mean, that's what it fucking looked like out there. Me and all three of our teams got wins this week. Finally, we can all say we're a part of the win column this week.
Woo!
Two of them were much more impressive than one, but hey, we'll
Mike.
take it.
Yeah, Mike, we were waiting on you.
Yeah, I was gonna say we were fucking waiting. Tell Mac Jones to not suck.
Yeah, dude, I'll give him a call.
But yeah, I don't know what we're talking about in this episode. I think we're kind of just
be careful. He might go low on you.
Yeah, I was gonna say he might go low, and then yeah, but yeah, I think we're just free balling at this episode. I have no fucking idea what we're talking about, but we're just letting it fucking ride, baby.
Yeah, dude, I like the beginning.
Call me to a because I'm letting that bitch ride.
I think something I heard I thought was great was I think every Broncos fan should be a Swiftie now. Because everyone's talking about Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce. Right. Nobody's talking about this 70-20 absolute domination that the Miami Dolphins did.
Let's just face it.
What is there to say? What
fucking ass kicking in every aspect of the word ass kicking.
I just like all the backstory.
Good team.
I think it's
good team beat bad team.
No. This isn't good team beat bad team. This is good team beat the fuck
this
out of
is
bad
Mike
team.
McDaniels wanted to coach the Broncos or be part of the Broncos in some way, shape, or form. Didn't get the chance, and when he got to play him, he absolutely killed them.
So all right, I'm about to.
I think the crazy thing is like middle of the third quarter. It didn't even look like they were trying to run it up. They were just like accidentally.
That's what it was. They were literally they would hand it off to their backup running back who's a rookie, and he would just get it for like 80 yards. It's like, well, shit.
I want to make this clear.
The Broncos prevented them from showing mercy.
The worst part about this game was it may have been 70-20. Realistically, it should have been like 90-20.
Yeah,
because Mike McDaniel tried to stop scoring and he couldn't. But
I was gonna say, Mike White went out there and threw 2 touchdowns.
I'm gonna rip off some stats for you real quick.
Anybody play him in fantasy this week?
Just tell me these aren't video game. Yo, put me in the fucking full screen right now so I can rip off these video game numbers.
There we go.
So
had to figure it out for a second.
I'm ready. So we're gonna go. Miami ran 71 total plays. They had 720.
They almost scored as many points as they ran plays.
Shut the fuck up. 726 total yards on 14 drives, 10.5 yards per play. They had 376 passing yards with 13.5 yards per pass. Hold on. 350 rushing yards on 43 attempts with almost 9 yards a carry. They were 6 for 6 in the red zone. Hold on, I'm trying to find some others. Oh, they were 5 of 9 on third down.
Did they punt in this game?
They were one of 3 on fourth down. So what that shows me is they went to fourth down like 4 times. But hold on, you want to read some of the? You want to hear some of these
times, depending on your perspective.
You want to hear some of these Broncos stats, Mike? Let me tickle your fancy. 59 total plays for Russell Wilson and the Broncos. 363 total yards. That was dog shit. 14 total drives, same amount of drives. 6.2 yards per play. But this is where we get into the good stuff. 294 passing yards. Not that bad. Only had 1 sack. Not that bad. Sounds decent. 69 total rushing yards on 20 attempts. The Dolphins scored more points than you had rushing yards. 3.5 yards per rush. And I just want to make this clear. I'm in the big camera. This game, I repeat, this game was not Russell Wilson's fault. I'm sorry. This game, Russell Wilson, I watched some of it. He actually played pretty decent. I don't know what you've seen of this game. He actually looked somewhat decent. He didn't look like last year's Russell Wilson. He actually looked pretty decent this year.
I didn't watch any of this game. But if a team allows 70 points in a game, that is coaching. That is not the quarterback.
Oh,
I've never been a Russell Wilson defender. I'd never have.
But this is on Sean Payton 100%. I mean,
Sean Payton, EJ Evero, everybody, all the defensive coaches.
And the worst part is, Mike, you said it. It just looked easy. Like
it did. It looked like Miami was trying to let Denver back into it halfway.
I mean, the first play of the game, Tyreek Hill catches like a dig route and takes it to the end zone untouched. Like that is coaching. Like, what is that defense? Like, somebody touch that. Somebody get the guy to the ground. What are we doing? But another impressive win by Miami. I expected nothing less. I mean, I didn't expect this, but I did expect them to dominate Denver.
It's tough to ever expect 70 points, but I expected them to win convincingly.
Oh yeah, I didn't. I mean, like I said,
it's a Denver.
This convincingly, no, but convincingly, yeah. I expected
like.
I was expecting like 35 to like 14, like, you know, something reasonable.
28-7 or something.
I wasn't expecting
decisive.
to check my Twitter notifications and see the Dolphins won 70-20. And the worst part is
it looks like a high school basketball game that just got out of hand.
This looked like Colorado versus Oregon this past weekend. That's what this looked like.
All right, that was actually a decent comparison.
Except Denver actually put up. Yo, what is up with Colorado sports? First, fucking Colorado goes into Oregon, they get their asses kicked. Then Denver goes to Miami, they get their asses kicked. Like, what is going on with Denver?
And the Rockies saw all that coming.
All right, we don't. Yeah, I don't know. Real quick, just to touch on that Buffalo game or Colorado game. If anybody thought that Colorado had a chance of winning that game, you're just a delusional Colorado.
That's what I'm saying.
You're delusional.
Kinda.
Delusional.
Oregon did exactly what they were supposed to do. Exactly what they were, which was beat the shit out of them. Do we have anything else to talk about this fucking game? Because this was a blowout, and I just
about it. Mike has another one on his mind. He didn't.
I wonder.
Sorry, go ahead.
You have a game like this, and I do like Sean Payton. Is there a point where you lose the locker room if you keep having losses like this, and you blow the 18?
I wouldn't be surprised if you already lost the locker room.
I was gonna say it's already. Did you
blow the 18-point lead last week to Washington? Like, do you just lose the locker room and Denver has to completely restart?
You don't think this was a sign that he already lost it? They blew the 18-point lead last week and then went out here and literally couldn't do anything.
And then to add on to the fact that you lost at home to a Raiders team in week 1, where you only had like 6 total drives because your defense couldn't get off the fucking field.
That was one of the weirdest games I've ever seen.
I think with Sean Payton, what bothers me is all the shit that he talked over these last couple off seasons of how much of what coaches should be doing, this and that. You have gone out there and everything that you said these coaches should be doing, you're doing exactly what they were doing and just getting blown out. Like, listen, we all can agree Nathaniel Hackett's not a great coach. I never saw Nathaniel Hackett get beat this bad. Like, this was embarrassing. I mean, I think one of the Broncos players said, I'm sick and tired of losing. I've been here for all I've done is fucking lost.
Yep.
I mean, hey, that's what happens when you trade for Russell Wilson. You don't let Russ cook. Speaking of letting Russ cook, we're letting Geno cook up in Seattle. Let's go up to Seattle, Washington, where my boys got another sweet, sweet victory. It looked a little shaky at the beginning, but we pulled through. Beat Andy Dalton, the Ginger Ninja.
The Red Rifle's a way better nickname.
Ginger
Ninja and the Red Rifle, those are some pretty elite nicknames, but it doesn't matter. It's another L for Carolina. For Seattle, I think this is probably one of their better defensive games that they had this week. I know Jaron Reed had 8 tackles and a sack this week, so I was very, very happy to see him play. What impressed me the most was Seattle's defense played particularly well with still missing Jamal Adams and missing Tyreek Woolen for this game. I don't know if you guys heard, but Jamal Adams and Tyreek should both be coming back for Monday night's game against the Giants. So that is a plus. But
did Jamal Adams play at all last year?
He played week 1. Remember, he played week 1 and then he tore his hamstring.
Okay.
On like one of the first plays of the game. But yeah, I just think for like Seattle, like defensively, I mean, to hold the team to 44 rushing yards, especially with how good of a rushing team Carolina. I mean, granted, I didn't expect Carolina to be able to run the ball. They threw for Carolina threw for 334 yards, but they did that on 58 attempts. So, like, do I really put that much stock into it? I mean, Seattle had 3 sacks in this game. Surprisingly, no turnovers, which were like, I mean, granted, Seattle hasn't done that for a while. One thing I didn't like was on both sides for Seattle defense, they couldn't get off the field on third down. Carolina was 10 for 19 on third down, and then on the offense, 3 for 13 on third down. So they were not very good on third down, but I mean,
1 for 1 on fourth though.
they were 1 for
That's
1
the
on
stat
fourth
that
down.
matters.
That is the stat that matters. Kenneth Walker had himself a great game this week. Kenneth Walker, 18 rushes for 93 yards and 2 touchdowns. I mean, he has shown me the improvement that I wanted to see. I mentioned it in our offseason episode. The improvement I wanted to see from him was in the short yardage situations. Show me that you can pick up 4 or 5 yards a carry. Show me you can just, beat a team down on the inside. And then let the big plays happen, which I think he's done. Zach Charbonnet, I don't know if you saw his truck that he had this past weekend.
He's a tank.
Absolutely fucking bulldozed the guy. But Seattle is kind of back to what they had with Rashad Penny and Chris Carson, which is just a running back duo that can do different things. Charbonnet is more of your power back, which granted Kenneth Walker's still one strong ass motherfucker, but you know what I mean. In the passing game, Jake Bobo caught a touchdown. So just want to put that out there.
I did not have that on my bingo card this week.
Well, no. And I know Seahawks fans are concerned about the usage of Jackson Smith and Jigba. I think we still have to realize this offense is not fully healthy in the offensive line. So I would imagine that has something to do with why the scheme. I mean, I don't think the offense we're seeing from Seattle is the offense that we were going to see this year. But I mean, it takes time for rookies to get adjusted, especially because
I think too. You don't have to rush him in. You kind of just let him be right now, and he'll get there.
We mentioned it. He's in such a drastically different situation from every other rookie receiver. He's coming into arguably a situation where he's behind 2 possible number 1 receivers on other teams in the NFL, and there's a solid tight end, and this team has a very good run game. So, I mean, I'm not surprised. I do wish they would use him more. Like, I mean, he had 1 catch for 10 yards in this game, but I do want to see them
target him 3 times. So
I think as the season goes along, I know the interception that they had. I know the interception Gino threw was targeted at Njigba. I don't know what happened on the play because I didn't really see it, but I do want to see them use him in the offense more. But it's kind of hard to use him when you have DK going 6 for 112 with 18.5 yards on average. So. But yeah, I just think Seattle is slowly getting healthy, which I think is a good thing for them. I mean, they have this week against the Giants, and then they have their bye week next week. I think it's good for a team to have a bye week that's injured this early, so they can try to get some guys healthy. I think Charles Cross is hopefully going to be coming back soon. I don't know about Abraham Lucas, but a couple of guys should be coming back. I'm excited to see Jamal Adams play. Excited to see Tyreek back. Devon Witherspoon is a dog. He's been that guy so far. I think he had like 13 targets against him this week, and I think he only gave up like 4 or 5 catches. So nothing crazy. Granted, I know Christian Gonzalez has been great. I get it. Christian Gonzalez is also the number 1 on his team. Devon Witherspoon's doing this as the number 2. So, I mean, take it as you will. But yeah, just a good win for Seattle. I don't really want to talk about the Panthers because I'm not a Panthers fan. So I'm just here to
Bryce Young for you.
He
can't push an agenda when he's hurt.
He didn't play this. What am I supposed to say?
That's what I'm saying.
What am I supposed to say? Their offense looked better their offense. Okay, I understand people are going to say their offense looked better. You're also taking a veteran who's been in the league for 10 plus years in
Andy Dalton for a while.
An offense is always going to look better with a veteran because a veteran is able to adjust on the fly than a rookie.
Exactly. Like
that's just a fact.
Because if you watch this game, the same struggles that Bryce Young has are the same struggles that Andy Dalton dealt with in this game. Receivers couldn't get open. His offensive line really wasn't holding up. His run game did nothing. It's the same thing Bryce Young's dealing with, except Bryce Young just can't improvise better. Can't improvise better, but basically just can't adjust as quickly as I think Andy Dalton can. Because Andy Dalton's seen pretty much everything there is to see in the NFL.
Bryce Young is also worth pointing out, a rookie like Bryce Young will not have the freedom to change a play at the line that a veteran like Dalton is.
Yeah. Because I heard a lot of people saying that Carolina's offense looked so much better with Andy Dalton. It's like, okay, that's like me saying that.
And it did
Okay.
look better, but the issue is it's not going to get better than it was there. With Bryce Young, there's a higher upside than that offense they have on Sunday has.
I agree. And I mean, regardless, I think we can all agree Seattle was winning this game regardless of if Bryce Young played or not. Like Seattle just on paper is just the better team. This was a 10-point Seattle win. In reality, the game felt more like in Seattle's control really than it ever felt in Carolina's. But that's just how I feel watching a good team play a bad team. Is it's like, even if it is like a 10-point win, it just feels like Seattle was just much more in control. Defensively, they were better. Offensively, they were just better. Like, I don't know. And Geno Smith, I don't know if it's time to finally silence those doubters, but I guess when he has a bad game, all the Geno haters are going to come back out again. But he's looked phenomenal the first 3 weeks of the year. Well, maybe not so much week 1, but the last 2 weeks he's looked great. He looked like Geno Smith of last year. Granted, trust me, if anybody knows Geno's first half success versus second half struggles, it's me. So I hope he keeps this up for a full season. But just wonder where the Geno's haters at now. Where they at now?
Well, John, you talked about a good team facing a bad team with an end margin of 2 digits. And that's too good a segue. I got to go to it now.
Oh.
Let's go to Phoenix. Let's talk about the Cowboys and the Cardinals.
Cowboys?
Yeah, that was too good a segue, John. I'm sorry.
Oh, man, nothing is better than watching the Cowboys lose to a team that they should clearly beat.
Let's hope it happens again this week, boys.
Yeah, nah, all right.
Who are they facing this week?
Patriots.
I think this game really just came down to Dallas's defense did not look like the Dallas defense we saw the first 2 weeks. Granted, I don't know if that's because of the loss of Trayvon Diggs, but Stephon Gilmore's age started to show a little bit. I don't know if you guys saw it, but it started to show just a tad bit. But I mean, I don't expect the guy at his age to still be a shutdown number 1 cornerback. That's what Trayvon Diggs was there for. Stephon Gilmore was brought in to be a number 2, and now he has to be the number 1. I think that's a concern for Dallas's defense. I don't know how their pass rush looked overall.
They did not look good.
They did not.
I mean, 2 sacks.
They were terrible all around.
Well, I mean,
Micah Parsons didn't have a big splash play until the end of the third quarter.
Well, I mean, he was also getting tripled the entire game. So
good. That's how you play defense. I'm
going to make the same argument to you I made about the Rams for years with Aaron Donald. Then get somebody else to pass rush.
Well, no, they're supposed to have. That's what Dexter Lawrence is there for. Dexter Lawrence doesn't do that.
I hate to break it to you. Dexter Lawrence ain't been that guy in 5 years.
Well, that's what he's there to supposedly be that guy. But I'm just saying somebody is there for them, but he's just not being that guy.
I just think at a team like that, they got complacent. And
I think
not well.
I mean,
coached.
let's face it, they had a chance to tie this game if Dak Prescott didn't make the worst red zone read I've ever seen.
This game to me came down to 2 things. Number 1, Dallas can't throw the ball in the red zone. I don't know what the hell that was. That was like Matt Canada levels of.
And the worst part is if you rewatch that play, CeeDee Lamb had a wide open touchdown in the left corner of the end zone. Dak Prescott just didn't even look over there.
And the second thing to me is Arizona just wanted the game more than Dallas.
Oh, hell yeah.
And Arizona ran the ball down Dallas's throats. Dallas proved early they were not going to stop it. James Conner looked like an all-pro out there. Josh Dobbs had 3 of the dumbest plays I've ever seen. On the 17-yard scramble, the 51-yarder to Michael Wilson. And then that weird one where he ran around the pocket for about 10 minutes and then found a guy 6 yards downfield. I don't know how any of those things happened. And Arizona never took their foot off the gas. They were up big and they just kept running it. They kept doing what was working. And I don't want to say Dallas got complacent, but Dallas seems like they didn't care.
And I mean, that was going to touch on kind of what I was going to say. I mean, seeing teams like this lose in week 3, I'm not surprised by it because, I mean, every team has to lose at some point. Like, I don't think any team has played at their best capabilities yet. I mean, maybe besides like a handful of teams maybe have.
I mean, I don't think Miami's going to get 70 points again.
But
this
like,
year.
am I? And I hate the Cowboys, but am I freaking out over the Cowboys losing to the Cardinals? No, it's week 3. I don't care. If this was week like 16, then this happened, then I'd be like, then there would be cause for concerns. At least for me, like going into the playoffs. I'm like slightly concerned just because of course, having no Trayvon Diggs. I want to see how Stephon Gilmore looks as the number 1 corner again for another year, especially as he gets older. Hopefully the pass rush can get back to what it was in the first 2 weeks.
I am a little concerned when you factor this loss with the fact they were not all that convincing against the Jets until Zach Wilson threw it away late.
But I mean, hey,
so if they
week 1 was crazy.
Like I said, dude, they're going to lose to the Patriots. Then what are you going to
say?
So
if they do stumble on Sunday against the Patriots, then I'm officially concerned about this team.
Oh yeah, I'm concerned if you lose back-to-back games to teams that, let's face it, you clearly should be should beat. I mean, hey,
let's face it, my bar
agenda, but hey.
My bar is if you do this against a better team, you're not going to be in the game late. If they go out against Philadelphia and do this in a few weeks, they're going to be down 35-0 at halftime.
So, Mike, so from what you've seen so far, like, or just based on this game alone, if I'm going to name some teams and tell me if Dallas's performance this week, how badly would they lose to these other teams? So we mentioned Philly. If they play, let's see. If they, we'll just do it. If they play Seattle, do they lose this game? If they play Seattle the way they played this week?
If they play the way they played on Sunday?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Do they lose to? I'm trying to think of like NFC teams right now. Do they lose? Do they lose to the Saints?
No.
Okay, so clearly they're not that bad.
I still look at them as a tier, but I still look at them in that top tier of NFC teams. They're right there with the Eagles, the 49ers. I'll put Seattle there based on the start.
I just think for Dallas, like, I think it's going to take another week for me to really draw any concerns. I mean, this week was just like, it's a bad week. We saw a lot of teams. Like, I mean, we saw the Ravens lose to the Colts in stupid fashion. So we saw the Jags get dominated by the Texans. So, like, I'm not freaking out quite yet. If I start
panic meters high in Jacksonville.
Yo, fuck it. We're going to Jacksonville right now.
Sounds like that.
I need to hear this. Why is it high? Because from what I've seen, Trevor Lawrence had 2 touchdowns this week that got dropped by Calvin Ridley in the end zone.
It is they just got out physicaled by Houston, and this offense looked awful last week against Kansas City. And I know Kansas City is a good defense. They looked abysmal, though.
Also had 2 touchdowns that should have been catches if guys could get their feet down. He has 5 of those this year. Trevor Lawrence has 5 passes into the end zone that should have been touchdowns if either they were caught or if guys could get their feet down.
It's also a team thing. It's not necessarily. I still believe in Trevor Lawrence and I believe in his talent. This team around him, though, I mean, they benched their first round tackle. I cannot think of his name right now. They benched him this week because he kept getting beat. This team
Will Anderson,
but it's a concern for this team. You know, I don't know what their upcoming schedule looks like, but the Colts are a team playing hard right now. I would not be shocked if the Jaguars don't clean this up. I will not be shocked if the Colts end up taking this division in a stunner.
All right, you ready real quick? Jags, Falcons. Jags, Bills. Jags, Colts.
Jags.
Do I know Richardson's playing?
Well, he should be back this week. Actually, in that case, give me the Colts.
Saints.
Jags.
Steelers.
Jags.
Bye. 49ers. Titans.
Jags.
And then redemption game versus Texans in Jacksonville.
Jags.
Okay.
I think by like mid-season. But this was a question that I didn't really see, but I kind of just posed up in my head. So I think before this season, we were comfortably saying that Trevor Lawrence was probably going to run this division for a couple of years. But with how good C.J. Stroud and Anthony Richardson have looked to start their careers, is it fair to say that this division come the next 5 years is going to be a lot closer than I think people expected it to be going into this season?
Yes, because I think the Colts right now have a good roster. They have a young quarterback. The Texans, I'm a little bit more hesitant to put in there with them as teams that'll be fighting for it because they don't have first round picks. They don't have a first round pick this year or a second round pick this year. So it's going to be tough for them to build a team around Stroud quickly. And I do have questions about that offensive line still.
I mean, Tank Dell looked like a dog this week.
He
that
did.
boy.
I want to see him get John Mechie involved too.
Yeah, but like, I don't know. I hope he can. I don't know. I haven't really watched the Texans a lot. I think this game was more of just Jacksonville just didn't play up to Jacksonville's standard. I think if Jacksonville plays just up to their standard of play, I think they win this game.
Can I give you an analogy?
CJ Stroud has looked fantastic. I think he has 121
Phenomenal.
Straight passes or whatever without an interception. He has.
I don't know the exact number. I know it's the record for a rookie to not throw an interception.
He has looked fantastic. Yeah, I mean, I don't know what I have what to say about CJ Stroud. I mean, he just looks comfortable doing whatever he wants. He hits the open guys. I mean, everything that he's doing now, he was doing at Ohio State. So I'm not surprised by it. I mean, shit, there was arguments this guy could have been the number 1 overall pick.
I was actually going to say, knowing what you know now, if you're the Panthers and you have the first overall pick,
I still would have taken Bryce Young. I still think when it comes down to it, I still think Bryce Young just over time is just going to simply become a better quarterback. But I mean, you're also talking to the guy who made an argument that Anthony Richardson could have been the number 1 overall pick, depending on your situation. So, I'm serious.
I know you're serious. That's why I love it.
For Carolina, for Carolina, Anthony Richardson would have been terrible.
If the Colts had the first pick, I wouldn't.
If the Colts had the first pick, then I would have 100% picked Richardson at 1. Because I mean, we touched on it during the draft. I think, or post draft, I think the Colts. Richardson was the guy they wanted, regardless of where they were picking. They were going to draft Anthony Richardson.
I remember initially the talk of draft season that they were going to trade up with Houston to the second pick for Richardson.
Which, I mean, I don't even know. I mean, we've been talking a lot about rookies. Do we want to go talk about that one rookie who happens to play for Mike's team in New England? That boy Christian Gonzalez been strapping motherfuckers up. I mean, he put Garrett Wilson in fucking prison this week.
He's been absolutely killing it.
But I mean, I think we can all agree that's kind of what we predicted he was going to do. I mean, we all had him. We all had him as cornerback. He dropped
all the way down there in the draft. Yeah, I mean, there was no doubt.
John
it was really like the Eagles getting Jalen Carter, dude. It's just of course this guy's going to look great.
It was one of those picks.
Okay, so
it was one of those picks. After it happened, I was in the euphoria of the Steelers had traded up for Broderick Jones with the Patriots, and then they took Christian Gonzalez, and it was one of those moments where it was like when the Eagles got Jordan Davis last year. It was like, how did we let this happen?
Bro, I was still questioning the fact that Seattle passed on Jalen Carter, but hey.
I mean, I'm questioning 9 other teams about that right now, too.
I mean, yeah, we talked about Gonzalez.
What are you doing?
I had Gonzalez better than Witherspoon, but I mean, I didn't think it was a crazy gap. I just think that the reason that we're seeing it more from Gonzalez is because he's just in the spotlight of being the number 1 quarterback on a Bill Belichick-led defense.
I think Gonzalez also just has more big play splashed in him. I think Witherspoon is much more of a lockdown guy. Gonzalez is always going to be more.
Well, Gonzalez is also a lockdown, at Oregon. He was a shutdown corner at Oregon.
But he was always a splash play guy too. Witherspoon never really had that.
Well, yeah, Witherspoon's had a couple of good plays. Speaking of this game, I'm not gonna lie. This was an ugly ass game to watch.
This was one of the ugliest games you'll see.
I'm sorry. This was just 2 bad offenses playing against 2 good defenses. That's all this was.
Welcome to good old fashioned football, dude. It was run the ball, barely throw, throw in your head. Literally, I think both teams have felt like literally ran the ball first and second down every time.
I don't know what it is. I mean, I'm just gonna get off my spiel now. Mac Jones is not a good quarterback. I'm sorry. I think I've seen enough from him at this point. Weapons or no weapons, it doesn't matter. I don't think he has what it takes to win you games in the NFL. He can keep you in games. I just think, we started against Miami last week. I mean, he had 2 bad turnovers in the red zone. which I mean, yeah, you're gonna say may have been on his receivers, but at the end of the day, he's the one throwing him the football. So, and I get he doesn't have the weapons, but it's like if you have the weapons, it's not like the throws are necessarily going to change. Like, I don't know how to like describe it, but whenever I watch Mac Jones, it's like some of his mistakes are mistakes that I see happening regardless of if he has weapons or no weapons. His run game has not lived up to the hype that it was projected to be.
I think a part of both things there is they have had a different offensive line all 3 weeks. They've had different guys out. Week 1 they had 2 guards out. Week 2 they had both tackles out.
But that goes back to
this week. I think they had guard, center, guard all out.
I think that goes back.
We went into the game healthy. Cole Strange ended up getting taken out.
Yeah. Okay.
Somebody else got taken out, and I think Andrews was playing still.
I mean, that was going to go back to my point with Mac Jones. On another reason why I'm not like super high on him is, I mean, if your offensive line's going to be that banged up, you would want somebody who can extend plays and make plays for himself with his legs. Mac Jones can't do that. So
not even that. Run some quicker offenses. Run some quick routes.
Well,
get the ball out of the hands quick.
But to me, what you're saying there is not a Mac problem. That's a Bill O'Brien problem.
I know. Don't try, dude. I have a whole bunch of problems.
Oh yeah, no, that's a Bill. that part is a Bill O'Brien problem. But the part of when you're in the red zone and Bill O'Brien is scheming stuff up for you and you're throwing it right to defenders, that's a Mac Jones problem, not a Bill O'Brien problem. Like, I don't know what happened between week 1 and now, but he has looked significantly worse in week 2 and 3 than he did in week 1.
Too much time with Bill O'Brien.
I was going to say too much time apparently with Bill O'Brien. I don't know if you guys see
He's got too much time with Bill Belichick and Bill O'Brien. That would drive me crazy too.
And I mean, like, I get it.
Bill O'Brien's never won anything.
Like, I get the weapons argument. Don't get me wrong. I understand it. But I think at the end of the day, anyone who watches him play knows that regardless of weapons or not, bad quarterbacks are still bad quarterbacks. Like, I mean, let's just go look at the guy who plays for the Jets on the opposite side of this game. Zach Wilson has weapons, and he's just terrible because he can't get the ball to his weapons because he can't pass. He
different
can't
kind of bad. Yeah, he can't use his head. He has all the intangibles. He has all the physical aspects.
He's the complete opposite of Mac Jones. Mac Jones can use his head, just doesn't have like the intangibles that Zach Wilson has.
Zach Wilson is absolutely insane to me because it's the guy, he can do all the hard parts of the job. He can't do the easy stuff.
He cannot read a defense.
It's the Carson Wentz dilemma.
I don't know what his pocket presence is like, but I just feel like every time he feels the pocket collapsing, he just doesn't move. He only moves if the play is designed for him to move around. Like the Matthew Judon safety, like there is no way you didn't feel that pressure coming on your blind side. There's no way. Like, step up in the pocket. You just didn't step up. You stepped into Matthew Judon and gave him an easier sack than he already had. But I mean, like, we saw it this week when Garrett Wilson's not getting significantly wide open like he was against Dallas. Zach Wilson, I can't trust him to throw 50-50 balls to Garrett Wilson. I can't trust him to do that.
I think half of his thing is just his confidence is so shot that, like, he probably doesn't think he can make a throw that's there.
I mean, yeah, I think confidence does have something to do with it. You know, you were the
because, like you're saying, 50-50. Like he could probably see a guy at 60-40, like you know, have a step or two on him, and he just doesn't believe he gets the ball.
Like
there.
If you go, Mike, we talked about it when it happened. If you go back to week 1, the Garrett Wilson touchdown on Trey White, if Garrett Wilson doesn't knock the ball towards himself, Trey White picks off that football and the game's over. Yeah. Buffalo wins the game. Like, I mean, I don't know why Jets fans are surprised. I don't know why they thought a month in the offseason with Aaron Rodgers was going to magically change Zach Wilson into a good quarterback. But
I was open to the idea of Zach Wilson getting a second chance after sitting for a year or two under Rodgers, not after 5 weeks.
I was also under the impression of Zach Wilson. Like, I thought he would make like slight steps to improvement. But it's the same way that we're going to talk about another quarterback later where it just looks like he's gone backwards. Like, it doesn't look like he's gotten better. It just looks like he's the same old Zach Wilson or worse than Zach Wilson. But yeah, no, this game was just overall boring. I did not like
He looks almost last year he was making a lot of bad decisions. This year it feels like he's questioning the bad decisions, but he's doing it in real time. So he's looking at something and then he'll take 3 seconds to say, is that a bad decision? and then he'll look at his next read and say, "Is that a bad decision?" And but in 8 seconds, you're going to get sacked.
That is leading me right into the next quarterback that I want to talk about, which I want to talk about Justin Fields, because I think it's official.
You're talking about
boy.
into sacks.
I think it's official. We can say it now. The Bears are going to have the #1 pick. I've seen nothing that can show me that they don't
I've seen
it.
more that it looks like they somehow got worse from last year from being the worst team in the league.
I want to say this really quickly, because I still somewhat believe in Justin Fields. I still think he can be a good NFL quarterback because the flashes are still there. I think the Bears are doing him a disservice because I think the Bears are trying to turn him into something that he's just not going to be in the NFL.
I believe in Justin Fields' talent. I don't believe in the Bears.
That's
as simple as that.
That kind of sums it up. I believe in Justin Fields' talent. I have no confidence at all in the Bears. Because we saw even Mitch Trubisky, once he left Chicago, he looked like a serviceable quarterback at times. Like, I mean, you saw him with your Steelers. Mitch Trubisky in Pittsburgh did not look the same as Mitch Trubisky in Chicago. But for Justin Fields, we've seen it. He second guesses himself so much. Justin Fields needs to go back to the offense where if the first read's not open, just run. I mean, I feel like I'm beating a dead horse because I feel like we talk about it every week with Justin Fields, but
it's not a matter of they're trying to make him something he's not. They're trying to make him something he's not while drafting for the player that he already was. They're drafting for the offense where it's first read and go, and then they're making him play an offense where it's your Patrick Mahomes. He's never going to be that guy.
I mean,
I think hear me out. I think he needs to go to the Giants. Brian Daboll is the same guy who coached Josh Allen, who I think is the closest physical comp to Justin Fields.
Yeah, I mean, Justin Fields is a little smaller, but
he's a little bit smaller. But in terms of ability, I think Allen's not the runner Fields is, but I think that's the closest we've seen to it.
Well, I mean, you can make an argument Allen's a better runner and a better. Well, I mean, we know he's a better passer, but you can make an argument that Allen's just as good of a runner.
I'll say Fields is a more explosive runner, though.
Yeah. I honestly, I mean, I talked about it. I would love to see Justin Fields in Atlanta. Just give him an
love that.
Just I do, because I think he needs just an open reign of an offense. I don't think he has that in Chicago.
I don't think Arthur Smith is going to be the guy to give him that offense.
That's fair.
I think Arthur Smith wants. I
wasn't really looking at the coaching aspect. I was more like, if you look at the weapons that you would have around him, he would just have so much freedom, and Bijan would be his safety net.
John, you're going against my theory. Kyler Murray on the Falcons next year is going to be a dynamic.
Oh, yeah, you're right. You're right. No, you're right. I keep forgetting you say it. That's why I keep forgetting that he's not playing.
As he ends up on like the Saints now.
All right, but no, yeah, I would I mean, Justin Fields is going to be somewhere new next year. I think we can agree, and I think somebody's going to take the chance on him. I would love
maybe he's on the Broncos next year.
Fuck no, get him away from Sean Payton, please. Get Russell Wilson away from Sean Payton, because Sean Payton's doing him more of a disservice than anything.
Let Sean Payton retire again.
I mean, yeah, I just think for Chicago, the only reason I said they're changing him is because if you look at it, there's not as many designed runs for Justin Fields as there was last year, which I don't like at all. I think they need to play him almost how Baltimore plays Lamar Jackson, which is, you can give him design runs out of passing sets. Like, you don't need to run a run set for Justin Fields. You can put a passing set out there and let him run.
And then, and if it's a run, it's a run.
I will say, some of this is on Justin Fields, where his pocket presence is not the greatest. He doesn't use his legs when he should be using them.
No, dude, I saw him step into way too many sacks.
I do have to say, though, I think it's something that we
I'll cut him some slack for the Kansas City game. He was under constant fire. It was,
but I mean, he's been
wherever he stepped, he was under fire.
I mean, it's been that the first 3 weeks of the year, no matter who they've played. Even week 1 against Green Bay, week 2 against fucking Tampa Bay. It's been the same thing for him.
Kansas City was more so than the other 2 games. I don't think he had a single snap against Kansas City that one of his linemen didn't get beat.
I just think there is more of Bears mistakes than there is Justin Fields mistakes. But they look like Justin Fields mistakes. Like, they're trying to get DJ Moore involved, but when he can't even get through his first read without being pressured, what do you expect him to do? And then on the Chiefs side of things, I mean, fuck, they just look like the Chiefs. Travis
Kelce is dating Taylor Swift,
about,
dude. That's the biggest news out of that game for the Chiefs.
I don't want to talk about these motherfuckers. They had a chance to put up 70 points if they felt like it too, but the Chiefs are just gonna Chief, all right? Like, let's just.
Now, quick thing on the Bears, dude. Bears or Broncos?
Which team is better, or which team do I think?
Well, they're facing each other this
winning.
weekend, John.
Oh, you shouldn't have told him, dude. I was gonna make him pick a winner before he knew.
No, I knew they played this weekend, but I thought you were just asking me like.
Is this the battle for the first pick?
There's no way. Wait.
In week 4 of the season.
But let's be realistic here. There's no way the Broncos lose this game, right?
That's what I would think.
Mike, listen. The Broncos have been bad, but they haven't been the Bears bad.
No.
Okay, I'm gonna pick Denver. I think Denver should win this game. I'm
gonna pick Denver to win 3-0.
If we come back next week and I'm talking about Justin Fields beat the fucking Broncos, pack up Russell Wilson, pack up Sean Payton, pack up the whole Broncos fucking organization and get them the fuck out of here. Like, it's over for them. Mike, where do you want to go next? I don't know where to go.
I mostly wanted to get the Dallas thing out of the way. That was the highlight of the week.
That's a nice hat.
I don't know about you. That was the highlight of the week.
Hey, that's a nice hat you have on, Mike. You want to talk about them? That's a nice hat you have on.
It is a nice hat. It's a nice sweatshirt too. I don't know if you can see it.
Oh, I can't. I can see the tip. Whoa! Yo! Right. All right. Pause. You know what I meant.
Yeah. It's all right.
All right. Yeah, Mike, take it away. Fucking talk about your football team. 2-1, baby. 2-1. Let's go.
2-1. I think John. I don't know how much of the game you watched. I think 23-15 doesn't really tell the story.
I was out to dinner talking about colon cancer.
Oh, thanks.
I was also talking about prostate exams. So also
just took a turn.
Real quick.
I don't know how we ended up here.
Just to put it out there, if you go to 99 late enough, bro, our waitress came out and was like, "Hey, we throw away our popcorn at the end of the night, bro." She gave me this big, like, fucking duffel bag of
Oh, you didn't know
popcorn.
that? Oh, yeah, dude.
It was the first time I'd ever been asked. Dude, I took that shit home. I ransacked that shit. I ran through that shit so fast.
You know the big problem with this, though? is you have to go to the 99.
Yeah, they got some banging food there. I'm not going to lie.
They don't.
All right. Go back. Hey, shut up. Go back. Go back to what you were talking about.
It did feel like the Steelers controlled this game. It was the first time they looked like an NFL offense since Ben Roethlisberger played. And that may not be hyperbole. I mean,
Kenny Pickett looks like an NFL quarterback for the first time in a while.
It looked like the offense had sat down and drew plays up. It was insane.
No, you see, like they practiced.
No, you see, what happened this week was Kenny Pickett walked into the fucking offense meeting and said, "Matt Canada, give me the fucking playbook. Get the fuck out of this office. You're not calling shit this week." And Kenny Pickett, realistically, like, Matt Canada had the headset on, but his headset was on mute, so Kenny Pickett couldn't say anything to him, and Kenny Pickett was just freestyling out there.
Yeah, they just had Charlie Batch in the seats calling plays. I thought that's
actually what was out there, bro. Mike Tomlin was like, "Yo, let me get this fucking headset."
Mike Tomlin didn't find out until Tuesday. He was pissed.
He was like, "Wait, so that's what our offense is supposed to look like? God damn, that should kind of look nice."
I thought it was the best the offense had looked in multiple years. I am serious when I say that. I do feel, though, my big takeaway is they should have put this game away sooner. It was 23-7 late fourth quarter. I think that game, you could easily say one of the field goal drives could have been a touchdown. It's 27-7, and you're having a whole different discussion.
I mean, let's face it, there wasn't a guy in your secondary that could stop Devontae Adams. So,
I mean, that's okay. They only threw to him 17 times.
Yeah, I mean, he only had 117 yards and 2 touchdowns.
I think it was 13 for 140 and 2 touchdowns.
20 targets for 13 receptions on 172 yards, 2 touchdowns.
Oh, wow. We are just all way off. Okay.
I had the catches right.
Devontae Smith was dicking down that secondary.
Jacoby Myers out there looking good for the Raiders, too.
Hey, John,
only if he was only if he could have been a New England Patriot, huh?
John, I had the best time because the Steelers won the game, but Devontae Adams still won me my fantasy match.
Fair enough. Listen, I was handicapped
Whack.
this week. Anthony Richardson was out. I was handicapped. And
My
I have
QBs,
the Jets defense. Like, what am I
my
supposed to do?
QBs were Anthony Richardson and Joe Burrow, and I didn't know until Monday if Joe Burrow was playing.
That gotta suck, bro.
I have Eckler and Aaron Jones.
We're gonna talk about them at some point.
Yeah.
They still don't look good.
Okay. I'm curious to get your take on John. Have you gone back and watched it yet?
I've watched like bits and pieces, and the only thing I can say about this game, and I need the big screen for this because I'm gonna look right in the camera when I say this shit. TJ Watt's the best fucking defensive player in the NFL, and it's not even remotely fucking close. I mean, shit. I thought Myles Garrett and Micah Parsons could game wreck, bro. Every time I turn on the Steelers game, TJ Watt is standing on top of a quarterback every fucking play. Like, all I'm seeing is ball gets snapped, swim move right to fucking Jimmy Garoppolo's anus every fucking play. So, yeah, TJ Watt's the best defensive player in the league. Kenny Pickett finally looked like a quarterback. George Pickens is still him. Najee Harris.
Best he's looked in years.
And that's saying a lot because he's been in the NFL for what, like 4 years?
3 years. This is year 4, yeah.
So yeah, Najee kind of looks somewhat decent. I'm
I
swear to God, bro, Kenny Pickett and George Pickens and Najee just need to lock Matt Canada in a room and just let them go out there and fucking freestyle.
I'm curious to get your take on it. That roughing the passer with 3 minutes left on Minkah Fitzpatrick. Was that roughing the passer?
Yeah, bro, I don't even know the rule at this point. It probably was. It was one of those where like I didn't really see it, but it was like I saw like half the clip. I mean, it didn't look like roughing the passer, but you know how it is.
Yeah.
It's because it doesn't look like it. Because then I saw a couple plays this week where I watched quarterbacks get fucking blown up and nothing happened. Like I watched Andy Dalton get absolutely demolished by Jaron Reed and just no flag. But I mean, Jimmy Garoppolo has shown me that unless he's throwing it to Devontae Adams or Jacoby Myers, he does nothing.
Oh.
And Josh Jacobs, somebody find him because he's missing because I haven't seen him in fucking 3 weeks.
That was roughing the passer.
Yeah, no, but I don't know where we want to go next. We've covered all of our teams, so I could care less.
Are the Raiders going to be in the race for the first pick?
No. I think they are significantly better than the Bears and Broncos.
All right. Does Devontae Adams get traded?
Yes.
Where does he go?
Not yet.
Say again?
Seattle for Tyler Lockett and picks.
I was going to say the Patriots.
Shut the fuck up.
We're not going to give him enough.
Not even that. What are you going to offer? Juju Smith in a third?
Like I just said, he can't give him enough. I don't have enough to give. I can't. I'll give him Mac Jones.
No, listen. Seattle's not realistic because they would just never do that. But at least Seattle has the pieces to fucking give them.
How about
I'll
this
give him
one?
Mac Jones to take Jimmy G and Devontae Adams.
Devontae Adams to the Lions.
What are you giving up if you're Detroit?
Just give him a first-round pick. You have Devontae Adams and Amon-Ra St. Brown.
There's actually no way if I'm the Raiders that I'm just taking a first-round pick for Devontae Adams. Like, because they already have their first-round pick. So it's like, yeah, you could use another one, but why not get that and a player if you can? Like, fuck it, I'm going to keep it a buck with you. Amon-Ra got to come to fucking Las Vegas. If I'm giving up Devontae, Amon-Ra, you better get your ass over to Las Vegas, my boy.
All right, Lions are out then.
Yeah, Lions are fucking out. That's just what I would do if I was the Raiders. That's probably not what would happen, but if I was the Raiders, I'm like, yeah, you want Devontae that bad? Yeah, first-round pick and Amon-Ra, you got yourself a deal right now.
Actually, you know what I want to see, just for entertainment's sake? Devontae on the Colts. Him and Anthony Richardson would be absolute dynamite.
That would be so fun. Bro, I swear to God, I'm gonna say this just because see where I'm going with this. Send Devontae Adams to Atlanta just so you can get Kyle Pitts out of Atlanta. That's literally the only reason I want
you can trade Kyle. Yeah,
like I just want Kyle Pitts out of Atlanta. I don't.
Then he's going to play. Then he's going to play with Josh McDaniels. Though that might be worse.
At least he's gonna get fucking targets.
Is he?
Yes. Yeah. He has to.
If Devontae Adams is gone. Yeah, dude.
I actually
Down
no,
king.
listen. I actually think Arthur Smith is the only quarterback in the NFL who could use Kyle Pitts the wrong way. I think he's the only. Like, could you imagine what Kyle Pitts would be doing in New England right now?
Be stupid.
He'd arguably be the second best tight end in football right now.
He'd probably already have 1,000 yards.
What do I have to give up for him?
Bro, literally anything. Just throw
Mike, if you could right now give up a first-round pick for Kyle Pitts, would you do it?
Yeah.
Dude, I wouldn't even think fucking twice.
I would give up
Could you imagine the 3 tight ends
different years
they could run? Could you imagine the 3 tight end sets they could run with Mike Gesicki, Hunter Henry, and Kyle Pitts? But instead of putting Kyle Pitts at tight end, you just fucking toss him out there at receiver.
I was gonna say, what are those sets where they put Gesicki and Pitts out as wide receivers?
No, all of a sudden you look and it's like,
and they got just Juju Smith-Schuster lined up as a tight end.
Kyle Pitts is in the slot. Gesicki's lined up as the X receiver. Hunter Henry's the Y receiver, and fucking Juju Smith has to chip block.
No, dude, Farrell Brown plays tight end.
No, all of a sudden Mac's like, yo, Juju, you gotta chip block Micah Parsons because all of our tight ends are doing your job. So at that point, listen, if Kyle Pitts gets traded there at that point, Kendrick Bourne, Demario Douglas, just go sit your asses on the bench because you ain't getting any fucking touches. Because from what I've seen from that offense, if it's not getting thrown to Hunter Henry, it's not good.
It's either getting dropped or it's a bad throw.
It's either getting dropped or it's getting a dot to the ops. So, what else? Is that it? Or
I got one game left that we didn't really touch on.
Okay.
Saints-Packers came down to the wire, and Jordan Love snuck out the win at Lambeau.
Hey, Mike, you want to hear how I feel about this game?
Yeah.
Fucking snooze fest. That's what I feel every time I watch the fucking Saints. It's just a snooze fest.
Oh,
is
dude,
there a more boring team to watch than the Saints?
No, there's not.
Because like the Broncos are bad, but it's at least like an entertaining bad.
The
Saints are just
the Jets are an entertaining bad. The Saints are the most boring, mediocre team I've ever seen. Like, what do the Saints do that's actually good?
They have Chris Olave.
I was gonna say, besides Chris Olave, what is actually entertaining about that fucking team?
Dude, every time I watch it, I just get hyped when I see Michael Thomas make a catch that's not a slant route.
Yo, listen.
That's what I get hyped about during Saints games because there's nothing else there.
All he runs is digs and slants. This game is literally just the definition
honestly, cut him some slack with his ankles. That's probably all he can do at this point.
Okay.
He's injured his ankle.
Wait. You would think though with bad ankles, how the fuck is he supposed to win off the line? If I was a corner, I'm just jamming his ass at the line. Like you can't. Where are you going, old man?
Old man, isn't he only like 28? Which feels crazy.
Well, he's got the ankles of a 45-year-old. So hey,
that is true.
Yeah. I think this game was just Jordan Love just decided to like show up to the football game in the second half.
I was wrong. Michael Thomas is 30.
So all right, I think we can establish my overreaction. Brett Favre, Aaron Rodgers, Jordan Love, they're all the fucking same thing. They're just the same quarterback. When they were in Green Bay, they're just the same guys, you know, they just beat everybody. It's okay. They all own the Bears. There we go. How you doing? Keep it moving.
To be fair, there might be 31 co-owners of the Bears.
Can I just be honest, Mike? Is this the most boring week of football we've had in a long time?
Definitely of this season.
Because this was like, I mean, it's week 3, and this might have been one of the most.
I mean, every game this week, it felt like every game this week was either a blowout or.
Well, the Seattle game was close until it wasn't.
I mean, the Cardinals game was entertaining as hell, but
yeah, the Monday night games games weren't that bad. The Bengals offense still sucks unless it's giving the ball to Jamar Chase. And God, just put Joe Burrow on IR already. Stop making him play through that, please. Just put him on IR.
I think my problem is it's a calf injury.
Calf injury. The GOAT?
I'm surprised we got through the Monday without a serious injury.
The thing is, it's a calf injury.
I'm just waiting for Joe Burrow's Achilles to snap.
I got a question for you, John. Is there a point where the Bengals drop enough games that they just say we're going to punt on the season? They shut Joe Burrow down. What do you think it is?
Yes. If they're like 1-5, then fucking chalk it. It's over. Hey, your season's over. Just fucking get over it. Get him out of here.
I think 6 losses is the magic number.
I think 5 or 6 losses is the magic number for them. Especially if he's still dealing with this injury. If he's not dealing with it, or if it's not as bad.
Their next 2 weeks are the Titans and Cardinals.
Those should be 2 wins, but with how they've looked, I wouldn't be surprised if they lost.
And then after that, they have Seattle, San Francisco, and Buffalo.
Those are 3 losses. So there you go. There's like 5 losses right there. There you go.
Yeah, but what's that record after 2 wins?
That is 4
3-2.
4-2, and then they get to 6-4.
It'd be 3-2. They lost week 1.
Yeah, they lost week 1. They lost week 2. They won this week, so they would go to 3-2.
All right. Oh, so 3-2, and then
they would go to 3-2. Then they would lose 3 in a row. They'd be 3-5.
So I think it depends. I think if they can bounce back for that 6th win.
So 3-5
after 3-win losing streak. Who's the next game?
So their record's 3-5, and then they have Houston.
Win.
It's a win.
Then they have back-to-back games at Baltimore and then against the Steelers.
Those are both losses in my eyes. Right now, as they currently are,
I think they can win one of them.
As the way I'm looking at them right now, those are both losses.
And then they're at the Jaguars.
That's a loss.
Colts.
Right now. That could be a loss as well.
Vikings.
That's a win because Kirk Cousins sucks.
Maybe they should just punt already, dude. The more you're going down this list, like
it doesn't get. Is that's at the Steelers? Oh, that's a loss.
At the Steelers. At the Chiefs. How'd they get that draw back to back? That's
a loss too.
And then home for the Browns.
That's a win. I think they close out the year. So and this is, of course, as I stated, this is all going based off if they play all those games how they're currently playing now. I think all the teams in their division, maybe besides Cleveland without Nick Chubb, I think Baltimore and Pittsburgh are both better than them. I think the Jags, the Chiefs, the Bills. I think you can make an argument for the Colts. I think all those teams are better than them. I think you can make an argument that the Chargers could be better than them.
No.
Well, the Dolphins are better than them.
A team coached by Brandon Staley is not better than this team. If they had any other head coach, I'd say yes.
All right. So if I was putting on the headset for the Chargers, you'd give me a chance?
Yep.
Well, listen, let me tell you this right now. You put all 3 of us in the Chargers head coach
how many times,
right now, I guarantee we get more stops than Brandon Staley does.
How many times have you failed to have a top 20 defense with Joey Bosa?
I don't even know how
and Derwin James.
I don't even know how to read offenses. I don't know how to scheme defenses, but I'm almost 90% positive if I just told Derwin James and stuff to do this, they could figure it out.
Do this.
Hey, don't let him beat you.
Get stops. I did read a stat, and this is a crazy stat. Justin Herbert is 20-5 when his defense allows less than 28 points.
I wonder what his record is. He's probably
not very good.
Well, I would say so. What, 28 points? That's a lot of offensive scoring.
But I mean, think about how much offense he has to score. But think about that. When your defense just plays decent and doesn't give up
miserable week.
When your defense doesn't give up damn near 30 points every game, you actually win.
When your defense doesn't allow a touchdown every quarter, he wins a lot of the time.
Dude, and that's what I'm saying.
It's crazy.
Justin Herbert's that guy when his head coach does what he actually came here to do, which is have a good fucking defense. I guarantee you when Justin Herbert sees the other team with only 14 points and he's like, wow, why the fuck can't you guys do this every week? Because if we were doing this every week, we'd be winning a hell of a lot more fucking football games.
Are the Chargers going to be the best head coach opening this year?
Yes, because I think there's going to be coaches that are going to be drooling over getting Justin Herbert.
Does Sean Payton leave the Broncos for that?
No.
Oh, yeah, let's go destroy another quarterback.
Well, no, because especially with the numbers that Justin Herbert's going to put up this year, because Kellen Moore has, I don't know what he did to Justin Herbert, but he makes him look like God all of a sudden. But the number, Justin Herbert.
I'll tell you what he did. He looked at the offense Justin Herbert was running, which was the Drew Brees offense. If you're going to throw it 4 yards every play,
it was wait a second.
And said,
how the fuck are we doing this?
It said, no, your arm's too good for that.
He looked at Justin Herbert and said, last time I checked, you weren't 5'9" and had a noodle. You're 6'4" and have a rocket. Let's open up that offense, my boy.
Let's open up some doors. Let's
get Keenan Allen 245 receiving yards. Let's Blow the doors off this bitch.
And a passing touchdown for Keenan Allen for good measure.
I would like to just say the only positive of this game for the Minnesota Vikings is that Justin Jefferson's trade value is getting higher every single game he plays. Because
teams Kirk Cousins play for next year.
Not the Vikings. And,
49ers.
Justin Jefferson won't be there next year.
49ers.
Hey, Justin Jefferson might be on the Niners next year. Who fucking knows? God, please, I don't even want to speak
John,
about existence.
haven't you seen this movie? Haven't you seen this movie before?
Oh yeah, no, I forgot. Justin Jefferson's going to the Patriots and he's gonna break every fucking record imaginable.
Vikings receiver goes to the AFC East. We've seen this movie enough times.
Wait, hold on. Which one besides Randy Moss?
Chris Carter and Stephon Diggs.
I forgot Chris Carter existed. Stephon Diggs, yeah. Randy Moss, yeah. Yeah, I can see Jefferson.
So is that
going
meaning
to,
this guy has to end up on the Dolphins?
He's going to end up on the Jets. I mean, that would complete the tour.
Hey, no.
Carter went to the Dolphins. I thought Carter went to the Jets.
No. Even Justin Jefferson can't make Zach Wilson look good.
Nah, but think if you have Justin Jefferson and Garrett Wilson.
Maybe you could lure Joe Namath out of retirement.
Maybe Aaron Rodgers will stay healthy next year. Maybe you never know.
Just maybe they'll pick a quarterback who doesn't suck.
I just want to say this right now. If that was possible and Zach Wilson still didn't succeed with that, he's the worst quarterback in NFL history. I don't care.
That would be impressive.
That'd be valid.
I would die on that hill of if Zach
I think
Wilson,
it would be more impressive for him to
on.
look that bad than to be good.
If Zach Wilson looks as bad as he does now with Justin Jefferson, Breece Hall, and Garrett Wilson, nah, bro. Hang him up. You're done. You need to retire. You're the worst quarterback. You're worse than Jamarcus Russell. Like, worse. You're worse than Ryan Leaf. Yo, honestly, fuck it. He may already be worse than Ryan Leaf. Okay, Okay, I'm going to name some quarterbacks. Is Zach Wilson better than these quarterbacks?
Right now or when they were drafted?
Either or. Just take it how you want. Is he better than Johnny Manziel?
No. Yeah.
He's better than Johnny Manziel right now.
Johnny Manziel right now that hasn't played football in 3 years. Yeah, I'll take Zach Wilson.
All right, motherfucker. You know what I meant by this question.
When they were drafted, no.
Was he better than Braxton Miller?
Maybe.
Tie.
Slightly tie.
Yeah, that one's.
I'm trying to think of can someone give me some mid quarter? Was he better than Ryan Leaf? Better than Jamarcus Russell?
See, I don't
think Jamarcus Russell's worse.
I think I was gonna say
Zach
Russell was
way,
another level of bad.
Zach Wilson is almost there.
He's almost there. I think Russell still got him beat right
now. Just other positions. Trent Robinson.
Worse.
He's worse than Trent Robinson. Thank God. I'm so happy someone agreed with that.
And you beat Trent Richardson?
Oh, yeah, Trent Richardson.
Oh, thank God. I was sitting here trying to figure out who the fuck Trent Robinson was, dude. I was sitting there going,
can I get a Jalen Rager?
Jalen Rager's.
He's worse.
He's a wide receiver 3, dude. Like,
bro, I don't give a damn. He was like the 16th pick.
No, I think Zach Wilson's still a bigger bust.
I'm trying to think of other like quarterbacks who were like picked super high that just were terrible.
Sam Darnold.
I was gonna say, dude, let's just go through Jets quarterbacks.
He's worse than Sam Darnold. Oh, Josh Rosen.
Josh Rosen.
There you go. That's a good one.
This is a good one.
But see, like we never got to see Josh Rosen suck.
And guess what? And guess what? What I saw of Josh Rosen, he was better than Zach Wilson. I don't care. He was better than Zach.
Where do you put him against Trey Lance?
I haven't seen Trey Lance play.
That's kind of like where I'm at with.
Hey, you want to hear what I have to say about that? Trey Lance was better in training camp than Zach Wilson's been in the regular season game. Trey Lance was better in training camp. I'll take Trey Lance at North Dakota State for the one game that he played there.
All right.
Zach Wilson, Danny Dimes, right?
You're talking about draft bust. Zach Wilson or Mitch Trubisky?
Mitch Trubisky, hands down. Not even close. It's not even an argument. Mason Rudolph or fucking Zach Wilson.
Mason Rudolph wasn't a high pick.
Yeah, but guess what? He was a tolerable NFL quarterback, something that Zach Wilson
Paxton Lynch or Zach Wilson?
Paxton Lynch.
It's not even fucking close.
Teddy Two Gloves?
Oh, Teddy Bridgewater.
Teddy.
Geno Smith in New York was better than Zach Wilson was.
Yeah, at least
Tannehill.
those Jets teams were
Huh?
supposed to suck.
Did you say Tyrod Taylor?
Ryan Tannehill.
Oh, Ryan Tannehill's better.
Tyrod Taylor is a good one.
Tyrod Taylor was the 6th-round pick, though.
I know. That's why I'm giving you first rounders.
Terrell Pryor, both as a quarterback and receiver, better in both aspects.
Yep.
Did you say Brandon Whedon?
Zach Wilson's better than Brandon Whedon.
Is he though?
Yeah.
Is he?
I think so.
Is he? Colt McCoy?
Jake Locker.
I don't even know who the fuck. Hey, Zach Wilson or Blake Bortles? You know, the guy who led his team to an AFC championship game.
Blake Bortles, dude.
Lead is being used.
I was going to say, carried by a defense is more like it.
Who was in the AFC championship game? Blake motherfucking Bortles was going toe-to-toe with Thomas Brady.
It was more Jalen Ramsey, AJ Bouye, Miles Jack, and Blake Bortles.
I don't care. I don't care. Blake Bortles was in the AFC championship game. Blake Bortles was better than Zach Wilson.
Blake Bortles better than Derek Carr?
Yes. Yes. Yes.
Is he better than Justin Herbert?
You might have me on that one.
Or Lamar Jackson?
You might have me on that one.
All right. Does Blake Bortles have an MVP? I don't think so.
Has Lamar been to a title game?
Well, Lamar has an MVP, so it counteracts.
Okay.
But listen, Blake Bortles better than Tua? I don't know, man. You can have that argument.
Better than Deshaun Watson?
I hope everybody knows that I'm not being serious.
I hope everybody knows. I hope everybody knows he is 1,000,000% serious.
I am 1,000,000% not serious. If you actually think I believe anything I just said about Blake, okay, listen. Everything I said about these quarterbacks
better than Dak Prescott?
Oh yes, 100% Blake Bortles is better than Dak Prescott. I actually might believe that. I swear to God, I might believe that.
Wasn't he on Dallas at one point?
Listen. I'm just gonna clarify this. Every quarterback I just said that was better than Zach Wilson, I wholeheartedly believe they are better than Zach Wilson. As in, put them on the Jets right now, and the Jets are a better team with them than they are with Zach Wilson.
And they just went to the Rams.
All right. We wrapped up here, boys.
Mike, you got some games for us?
Yeah, no, we're gonna